When my wife and I got married in 1998, that year I started a tradition of going to a store and getting a custom Christmas ornament made and engraved for both of us. It got pretty expensive after a while. Prices went up and the quality of the ornaments went down. So I decided several years ago, why don't I make the Christmas ornaments and keep the tradition alive? I did a video last year on the Christmas ornament I made, which was a snowman. This year I'm going to turn an inside out ornament. I'm going to try it for the first time. I've done the inside out turning before for the tulips that I presented in Valentine's Day this year. This time I'm going to do something a little bit more and hopefully it will work out. First step is I milled off this Spanish mahogany that I have a bit of, and I made it all the same height and width and length. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to temporarily tack these together. All right, so we got it all glued up using the blue tape method and mounted on. I used a screw-on base plate. So first step is I'm going to make a tenon to fit in my 4-jaw chuck, and then I will mount it on that with a tailstock live center, and then we'll round it off. All right, so what I'm going to do here is turn the inside. I have marked out the limits where I want to have it still square because I need space for gluing it up when I turn it right side out. No matter what I do, if I do not cut away at this place here at the seam, you're not going to see it from the outside. You have to cut more than this whole area, but you need to leave some space on the other side so you can work the outside when you turn it around. The live center actually split the blue tape glue up, so I had to reinstall something to hold it together. I really should have cleaned out the squeeze out right here, but I didn't. But it was okay in the end because since I already had waxed the inside, it was easy to peel off. A couple of takeaways on the turning of the outside of this ornament. First, one of the things I noticed after I glued up the ornament for the outside turning, the reveal of the inside was pretty small. But after I had finished turning the whole thing, the reveal had gotten larger because I had made the holes bigger by doing the outside turning. So there's a advantage of doing it this way and being cautious. The other thing I noticed was that as I was turning, you can see through the unit on the lathe, and it looked like I was cutting right up to the edge, but I wasn't anywhere close still. And since I said couple, we'll go ahead and count badly, and I'll mention a couple more things. And that is, when and you'll see this later on, I did a little bit of a cutout on the center there where there's peaks. And what you need to do is you need to be looking straight on to it, because I was looking at an angle and I thought I was cutting right at that peak, and it turned out I was cutting south of the peak, and it's kind of weird looking as a result. So here's the completed ornament with this year on it. I originally had no plan to make it in any specific shape, and then I sort of felt like this was a little bit of a Santa Claus shape, so I went ahead and put a hat on it. I'm kind of regretting it. It doesn't look that good. But, you know, this was my very first inside-out turning other than the tulips. And then I drilled a hole here for some hurricane strap. Or not hurricane strap, parachute cord, I think is what this is, originally from the Army Navy store. It's the same stuff that they use on Venetian blinds. And when I did that, I dropped it. And I've said this before, it's better to be lucky than good. I had dropped it, and all it did was it broke free the glue joint here because it was rather thin. And what I did was I just put some super glue, and it super glued really well, and it's tightened again. And then, since I'd already waxed it, the over squeeze on the super glue came right off. So, yeah, this is the wood color. That's not staining of any kind. That's just wood color. All right, well, I think that should wrap it up for today. Finally, just remember, after every woodworking project, you should always count your fingers. You end with 10, good job.